Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me this week with you tips that we can learn from Jay Baer's book called Hug Your Haters. You're tuning into FBP live from San Diego today, and I hope you can hear me loud and clear, and when people start getting on, I'll get you to give me a little thumbs up so that I know that you guys can hear me. So I'm actually sitting in the courtyard of my hotel today. It is a gorgeous sunny day, and I'm just a little bit more casual than usual, and I'll explain why in just a second. It has something to do with our topic for today. So if you've tuned in the last couple of weeks, you already know the rules, but if you are new to this, here are the rules. Basically, I need to keep this segment under 5 minutes, and what I need you guys to do is give me a thumbs up or give me a love heart if the tips that I share with you resonate with you or your business. So welcome aboard. Oh, Maddie, I see you there. JT, I see you. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Okay, so before we get into this week's tips, there's a little bit of a background story. So I'm not going to start the clock yet. I'm not on the clock yet because I know that I stuffed up my timing last week, so I don't want to do it 2 weeks in a row. So as I mentioned right at the very front, this week's tips were inspired by Jay Baer, and Jay Baer is the author of Hug Your Haters, amongst other books, and he was my guest on show 75 of the Fitness Business podcast. If you missed that show, just pop 75 in the comments and I'll send you through the link to that show. Now, in that book, he basically talks about how to address customer complaints, both so I'm actually going to share with you the worst customer experience I've had in the last 24 hours for me. And then what I'm going to share with you is some tips for how to best deal with customers complaining, whether it be on your Facebook page, on your website, or whether they're calling you up in person or emailing you. How does that sound? Give me a thumbs up if you like the sound. I'm not starting the timer yet. Super quick story for you guys. So as you guys know, I've just flown from Sydney to San Diego via San Francisco, and I arrived safely, but my bags did not. And my bag is somewhere between Sydney and San Diego. I actually have no idea. Can you guys hear me all right? I can see the sun shining down. Can you hear me loud and clear from here? Someone give me a thumbs up so that I know you can hear me. I'm just going to keep talking. Hopefully you can. So the minute that I arrived in San Diego, I went to collect my bag. There's no bag on the carousel. Thank you, guys. Glad you can hear me. There's no bag on the carousel. And so I went to the customer care lady, along with a few other people with their bags. And for me to tell you that this lady really didn't give a shit is probably an underestimate. So basically, I want you to think about this, because for her, I guess it's her job to deal with this stuff every single day. That's her job. You know, when bags don't turn up, she does the paperwork and that's it. But for me, come, 18 hours trip to speak at a industry conference and not have a bag, it's a big deal to me, and I'm their customer. So I left there feeling pretty crappy, and then the crappiness got worse because over a period of, what's going on 30 hours now, the sole responsibility of actually chasing up that bag has been with me, not with the airline. So really, the customer experience that I have had has been appalling, and at no stage throughout that process have they been proactive to actually try and help me out. So that's kind of the premise to why we're on this subject today. That's why I want to talk to you about how to best deal with customer complaints, because there is nothing worse than having customers that are feeling crappy about their experience with you, that are going to talk badly about the brand. And I know I haven't mentioned the brand yet, but if they keep my bag much longer, I might. So let's talk about some solutions, and I'm going to start the timer on that one. And welcome along to all of you that have joined me during that little monologue. Perhaps give me a little thumbs up if you if you're keen to hear these solutions on customer experience and really making sure that we deal with this. So I'm going to start the timer. Ready? We've got 5 minutes on this one. Here we go, guys. So as I mentioned, I spoke to Jay Baer in episode 75 of the Fitness Business podcast. So he wrote a book called Hug Your Haters. He actually classifies customers into two different areas, on stage and off stage. So on stage are the customers that actually complain in a public forum. So they're the people that will jump onto your Facebook page and they'll write a comment about their experience with you, a negative comment about their experience. They might jump onto your website or onto Google reviews and write a comment about that experience. So they're your on-stage complainers. Your off-stage people are the ones that will email you directly, or they'll pick up the phone, or they'll actually come into your gym and talk to you about a bad experience that they've had. So first of all, let's deal with the on-stage, so the people that are talking publicly. So I know that there's been a lot of different rules around the do's and don'ts of how to actually deal with these people, and the advice that Jay gives is that it's a two-part approach. The first thing that you have to do is display empathy. So respond to them online in the forum that they actually complained on. So if it's a Facebook complaint, you want to respond to them on that Facebook page. Display empathy. And then the second part is you've got to give them the option to actually get in contact with you so that you can discuss it further. What you want to avoid doing is continue having that conversation in the public forum. So his recommendation is 2 touch points maximum, and then take the conversation offline. Okay, so it shows to everyone else that's following you on your page that yes, they can see that you as the business owner or the business has addressed the complaint online, but they're not seeing a ongoing conversation happening because you've removed it. Hey Chris, so good to see you. Cannot wait to catch up. And I think I saw Dale on there as well. Dale, thanks for tuning in. So that's your on stage, the people that are complaining publicly on your website, on your Facebook page, on your Twitter profile, whatever it might be. 2 touch points, show empathy, and then offer to take that conversation and continue the conversation offline. So that's number 1. I'm doing 2.5 minutes. I'm doing okay. So the second part of this is our off-stage complainers. So they're the people that will pick up the phone and make a complaint to your front desk staff. They might send you an email about something that an issue they've had with the business, or they may very well walk into your facility, walk into your gym and complain about that. So there's actually a 5-step process in this one, and there's an acronym that Jay Baer refers to, which is called HOURS. So H is for human, so it's absolutely essential that that person that's making the off-stage complaint gets human contact. They get human to speak to, whether they're picking up the phone or they're talking to them in real life. Do not automate this process with this type of person. Okay, that is an essential step. So H is for human. O is for just communicating on the one channel. So you might recall that I mentioned with the, like that one, do you? So you might mention with the on-stage people, if they're starting off by complaining on Facebook, you want to address it there, but then you take it away from Facebook to actually address the issue. With these guys, if they start on email, then respond to them on email. If they pick up the phone, then they're phone people. You need to speak to them in that way. If they've come in, then deal with them whilst they're standing in your gym, in your facility. So that's really important. So one channel only. The third one is so important, and I want to love hard if you guys agree with this one, because I think this is where my airline situation, they stuffed up massively, and that is unify the data. So all of the customer service representatives that are working on your case need to be across all of the data that relates to your particular complaint, okay? So it's essential that you have a system within your business where different people can access that one customer profile, that one member profile. Hey, Sean, good to see you here. So unify all that. So if one person is on shift and they're speaking to the customer that's made the complaint and they finish their shift, but someone needs to pick it up, they need to know every piece of conversation that's happened with that first person. So unifying the data is absolutely essential. The next step is obviously resolving the issue or doing the best that you can to resolve the issue, or offer a solution of some sort so that the customer knows that you're trying to help them out. And the last one is so important, and this is speed. Okay, a customer wants to feel important. They want to feel as though you are doing everything you can to actually resolve their issue, their complaint, their grievance, whatever it might be. So you need to act swiftly. You need to act to the best of your ability. Please don't put people through what I've been through in the last 30 hours. They need to at least, even if you can't resolve it immediately, make them feel like you're doing everything in your power to resolve the issue that they've got or to address the complaint that they've got. It's absolutely essential. So there, your online and offline, 5 minutes, 6 seconds. That's not bad. That's not bad. Can I have a thumbs up just for staying on time this week? Unlike last week when I ran to about 9 minutes. Hey Ryan, thank you for joining us today. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed those tips. If they resonated with you, if they helped you, please give me a thumbs up. If it's stuff that you think your team or your staff could actually learn from what we talked about today, then please tag them in the comments below and share this Facebook Live. I'd be so grateful because I am trying to make a series out of this so that we actually have a whole lot of bite-sized business tips available for you guys. We load these onto YouTube every single week. They're always available on Facebook as well. And don't forget, if you missed episode 75 with Jay Baer, who I was just talking about, then just write 75 in the comments below. Or if you want me to email a copy of a link to Amazon of his book, Hug Your Haters, which I highly recommend for all of you owners and managers out there, then just write book in the comments and I will also send you the link for that. That's it, guys. So between today and when I see you next week, I'm going to be speaking at the Idea World Convention, which I am unbelievably excited about. And it's so good to see a number of my friends tuning in today because I know you guys are just arriving in San Diego as well. And I'm really excited to tell you about that next week, guys. So thank you so much, Kelly. Hey! Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And I will see you for FBP Live next week. See ya.